You know, with the duties that encompass, you know, owning businesses like that, and just like, you know, my whole family did as well. It's not just me, so I can't take total credit.
Imagine pouring your soul into something you love, something you built, only to have it ripped away. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. This is the story of Joey Jordison, the heartbeat of Slipknot. A man whose fire burned brighter than most, but whose light was dimmed by those he called family. They didn't fire him, but they didn't call. And in the end, that silence may have been what killed him. In this video, we unraveled the untold truth behind Joey Jordison's fall from Slipknot and the tragedy that followed. If you're a fan of Slipknot, heavy metal, or just human stories of triumph and betrayal, stay with me. This one's going to hit hard. The architect of Slipknot's chaos. In the mid-90s, in the gritty, unassuming city of Des Moines, Iowa, a musical revolution was born. Slipknot wasn't just a band. It was a force, a primal scream against the world, forged by 9 misfits who turned their pain into art. And at the core of that chaos was Joey Jordison, the drummer who didn't just keep time. He defined it. Joey, born Nathan Jonas Jordison on April 26, 1975, was more than a drummer. He was a visionary, a co-founder of Slipknot, alongside percussionist Sean "Clown" Crahan and bassist Paul Gray. At just 20 years old, Joey helped shape the band's raw, aggressive sound, blending death metal's ferocity, punk's rebellion, and prog rock's complexity. He suggested the name Slipknot, inspired by a song from their early demo, Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. His vision gave the band its identity, its edge, its soul. Behind his kabuki-inspired mask, a pale, expressionless face that haunted his childhood after his mother wore it to scare him, Joey was a whirlwind of energy. His drumming was relentless, precise and explosive, earning him praise as one of the greatest metal drummers of all time. In 2010, Rhythm Magazine's readers voted him the best drummer of the past 25 years, surpassing legends like Neil Peart and Phil Collins. In 2013, Loudwire crowned him the world's greatest metal drummer. His style fused blast beat intensity with groove and theatrical flair, making him the backbone of Slipknot's early albums, Slipknot, 1999, Iowa, 2001, Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, 2004, and All Hope Is Gone, 2008. Joey wasn't just a drummer. He was a songwriter, a producer, and a creative force. He co-wrote many of Slipknot's biggest hits, from Wait and Bleed to Before I Forget, which won a Grammy in 2005. His iconic drum solos, like the one in Disaster Pieces, where his riser tilted and spun mid-performance, left audiences in awe. He was Slipknot's heartbeat, the motor that drove their chaotic, cathartic live shows. Without Joey, there would be no Slipknot as we know it. But beneath the mask, Joey was human, complex, passionate, and vulnerable. He grew up in a broken home, his parents divorcing when he was young. He found solace in music, picking up his first drum kit at age 8, and later playing in local bands like Modifidius and the Have-Nots. Slipknot was his dream, his family, his everything. For 18 years, he poured his blood, sweat, and soul into the band, helping them rise from Des Moines basements to global stardom. Little did he know, that same family would one day turn its back on him. A body betrayed, the neurological battle. In 2010, while touring with his side project Murder Dolls, Joey Jordison started feeling something was wrong. His legs, once the unstoppable force behind Slipknot's thunderous rhythms, began to betray him. He noticed numbness, weakness, and a loss of control, symptoms that grew worse over time. By the end of his tenure with Slipknot, he could barely play the drums, the instrument that had defined his life. In 2016, at the Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards, Joey revealed the devastating truth. He had been diagnosed with acute transverse myelitis, a rare neurological disorder that causes inflammation of the spinal cord. This condition disrupts the signals between the brain and the body, leading to symptoms like pain, muscle weakness, sensory loss, and, in severe cases, paralysis. For Joey, it started with losing feeling in his legs, a cruel twist for a drummer whose lightning-fast double-kick technique was legendary. Transverse myelitis often strikes suddenly with no clear cause, though it can be linked to infections, autoimmune disorders, or in some cases, drug use. Joey described it as a form of multiple sclerosis, a disease he wouldn't wish on his worst enemy. It robbed him of his ability to perform, forcing him to confront the possibility that he might never play again. "I lost my legs," he told the audience, his voice heavy with emotion. "I couldn't play anymore. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life." But Joey was a fighter. With the help of physical therapy and a grueling regimen in the gym, he battled to regain his strength. He worked tirelessly with his trainer, Caleb, to rebuild his body and his spirit. By 2016, he declared he had beat the disease, returning to the stage with his new band, Vimic. "I'm healthier than I've ever been," he told the Des Moines Register. His determination was inspiring, a testament to his unbreakable will. But while he was fighting his body's betrayal, another, more painful betrayal was unfolding, one that would cut deeper than any disease. A shocking exit, Slipknot's cold dismissal. On December 12, 2013, Slipknot dropped a bombshell that shook the metal world. A brief statement on their website announced that Joey Jordison, their founding drummer and creative cornerstone, was leaving the band for personal reasons. No further explanation, no farewell, just a cold, clinical press release that left fans reeling. The vagueness of the statement sparked confusion and speculation. Slipknot had been a brotherhood, a band of outcasts who swore loyalty to each other. How could Joey, who had been with them since the beginning, just walk away? The truth, as it turned out, was far more heartbreaking. Joey didn't choose to leave. In a 2016 interview with Metal Hammer, he revealed the gut-wrenching reality. He had been fired via email. "No band meeting? None. Anything from management? No, nothing," he said. "All I got was a stupid Fing email saying I was out of the band that I busted my whole life to fucking create." The words dripped with pain and disbelief. After 18 years of pouring his heart into Slipknot, he was cast aside without so much as a phone call. The band's claim of personal reasons felt like a betrayal to Joey and the fans. Speculation ran rampant. Some thought it was due to creative differences. Others whispered about substance abuse. But Joey later clarified that his transverse myelitis was a major factor. His bandmates, he said, mistook his symptoms for a drug problem. "They got confused about my health issues, and obviously even I didn't know what it was at first," he explained in a 2016 Mirror interview. The misunderstanding tore the band apart, and instead of support, Joey faced isolation. No support, no outreach. "They didn't fire me, but no one called." Joey's firing wasn't just a professional loss. It was a personal devastation. Slipknot wasn't just a band to him. It was his family, his identity. He had grown up with Sean Crahan and Paul Gray, jamming in basements, dreaming of something bigger. They had shared stages, sweat and scars, building an empire together. To be cut off so abruptly, without a conversation, was a wound that never healed. In interviews, Joey's pain was palpable. "I was shocked and blindsided," he told Billboard. He felt discarded, like his contributions meant nothing. But what hurt most wasn't the firing itself. It was the silence that followed. "They didn't fire me, but no one called," he said in a 2016 Metal Hammer interview. Not one of his bandmates reached out to check on him, to see how he was coping with his illness or his sudden exile. The brotherhood he had believed in was gone, replaced by a void of abandonment. Fans felt the sting too. On platforms like Reddit, they expressed outrage and heartbreak. One user wrote, "The way Slipknot treated Joey was disgusting. He was their heart and soul, and they just threw him away." The lack of communication from Corey Taylor, Sean Crahan, and the others fueled speculation that there was more to the story. Rumors of egos, power struggles, or unresolved tensions. But for Joey, it was simpler. He felt betrayed by the people he trusted most. Joey tried to move forward, forming new bands like Scar the Martyr, Vimic, and Sin Sanum. He poured his energy into music, refusing to let his illness or his pain define him. But the weight of Slipknot's rejection lingered. In a 2016 Des Moines Register interview, he spoke of his hometown with pride, saying, "You can leave Des Moines, but Des Moines will never leave you." Yet, it seemed the band he helped create had left him behind for good. Abandoned by his bandmates, emotionally devastated. The emotional toll of Joey's departure from Slipknot was immense. He had always been open about his struggles, from his parents' divorce to his introverted nature as a child. Music was his outlet, his way of processing pain. Slipknot gave him a purpose, a place to belong. Losing that was like losing a part of himself. In public, Joey tried to stay strong. At the 2016 Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards, he praised Slipknot, saying, "We accomplished a lot, and I wish them nothing but luck." But the cracks in his voice betrayed his hurt. He spoke of his illness with raw honesty, sharing how he fought to overcome it, not just for himself, but to inspire others. Privately, though, Joey struggled. Friends and collaborators hinted at his personal demons, a phrase that surfaced in tributes after his death. Sin Sanum, one of his later bands, wrote, "Joey also had his demons, and nothing hurts more than knowing that we did everything in our power to help and couldn't get through to him." The isolation from Slipknot, combined with the physical and mental strain of his illness, left Joey in a dark place. He was a man who thrived on connection, through music, through fans, through his bandmates. Without that, he was adrift. Fans speculated about what those demons might have been. On Reddit, one fan wrote, "Joey was a fighter, but you can only fight so much when the people you love turn their backs on you. That kind of pain doesn't just go away." Joey's story resonated with fans because it was so human. He wasn't just a rock star. He was someone who poured his heart into his art, only to be left alone when he needed support most. His pain became their pain, his betrayal, their outrage. And when the news of his death broke, it felt like the final chapter of a tragedy that could have been avoided. A lonely end, Joey's final days. On July 26, 2021, the metal world was shattered by the news of Joey Jordison's death. He was just 46 years old. According to a statement from his family, he passed away peacefully in his sleep in a hotel room alone. The image was heartbreaking. The man who once commanded stages in front of thousands, whose drumming shook arenas, was found in solitude, far from the spotlight. A 911 call obtained by TMZ revealed the chilling moment his body was discovered, though details were sparse. His family declined to disclose a specific cause of death, asking for privacy during their grief. Joey's death has left us with empty hearts and feelings of indescribable sorrow, they wrote. To those that knew Joey, understood his quick wit, his gentle personality, giant heart, and his love for all things family and music. One fan tweeted, "Joey Jordison was the reason I picked up drumsticks. His energy was infectious. R.I.P. to a legend." Another wrote, "Slipknot broke when I was a kid. Losing Joey feels like losing a piece of my youth." But amid the grief, questions lingered. Why was Joey alone? Why was there no one by his side? And what really caused his death? The silent killer. Beyond natural causes. The official report stated that Joey Jordison died of natural causes. Given his history with transverse myelitis, it's possible the disease played a role, though no definitive link was confirmed. The vagueness of natural causes only fueled speculation. Some fans pointed to the physical toll of his illness, which could have weakened his body over time. Others wondered about the mental and emotional strain he endured after Slipknot's betrayal. In 2023, Joey's estate filed a lawsuit against Slipknot, accusing the band of exploiting his death to promote their album The End So Far, which they dedicated to him. The lawsuit claimed that Corey Taylor and Sean Crahan had promised to return Joey's personal belongings, but instead used them in a traveling museum for profit. It also alleged that Slipknot fired Joey with such disdain via email, despite his declining health. The case was settled in 2024, but the damage was done. The band's actions after his death felt like one final betrayal. Legacy. Joey Jordison was more than a drummer. He was a pioneer, a dreamer, a fighter. He gave Slipknot its name, its sound, its soul. He battled a crippling disease and came out stronger, only to be broken by the silence of those he called brothers. His story is a reminder that even the brightest stars can be dimmed by neglect, that even the strongest hearts can break under the weight of betrayal. As we remember Joey, let's honor his legacy, not just his music, but his humanity. Let's hold space for those who feel abandoned, who fight their battles alone. Forget the man behind the mask, whose heart beat louder than any drum. Rest in peace, Joey. You were never alone to us. If Joey Jordison's story moved you, hit that like button to honor his legacy and share this video with every Slipknot fan, metalhead, or anyone who needs to hear this powerful story. Let's keep Joey's memory alive and spark a conversation about loyalty, brotherhood, and the human cost of fame. Drop a comment below. Tell us how Joey's music touched your life or what this story means to you. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more deep dives into the stories behind the music. Together, we can ensure Joey's heartbeat never fades.